Good afternoon, poker people. Alrighty, day 12 of 66 days in a row. Things are looking good. I'm loving this here. Really good practice. I feel like I'm improving my game with all this hand reading. In a row, things are looking good. I'm loving this here. And hand reading your own hands every single day, just like I am. So here's the thing. We've been just running through these random hands. You could see when I filter right here for the merge network and hands that went to showdown, 3,600 hands came across, right? So there's a ton of hands to be reviewing. But I want to start narrowing the focus on various aspects of poker, various different skills that we could and should be employing, you know? So let's we'll start this time with a very, very simple filter for pre-flop raises, any 3-bet. So these are hands where I made the 3-bet. The hand went to showdown on the merge network. So all 3 filters simultaneous. Okay, so 9, only 1 in the EP. Let's start with that one. Raise, check, bet, check. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So today what we're doing, you can see at the top of the screen right there, we are hand reading both ranges at the same time. You can see everything is a mystery. I don't know whether I won or lost this hand. I don't know my starting hand, and I don't know my opponent's starting hand. I don't even know who my opponent is. Pop this puppy open. So, and you can also see, of course, we got split suits hand reading template right here for both ranges, range V, range action. We've got 2 windows of Flopzilla open, and we have hold EQ tied into both. Up at the top window is where I'll put my heroes range. You can see it's king, king right now. And in the bottom window is the villains range. You can see it's 5s, pair of 5s. And then when you have those 2 ranges working together, we could see that we have 80% equity with pocket kings. So let's go through and hand read both of us in this hand. Very small sample. He decides to open. We're making a 3-bet. I wonder what's going to happen here if we get some other random caller behind, or if he ends up being our victim. Oh. Wow, okay, cool. So look at that. Super passive guy, 59-14 over 230 hands. This guy loves to call, loves to see flops. So let's take a look real quick. Wrong one. His 3-bet. So his call 2-bet percentage in the MP is 50%, which is 5 out of 10. So the guy just loves to call. We're going to start him off with a super wide range. And for the fact that we decided to 3-bet in early position and kind of a smallish 3-bet, it's 3.5 times, I guess. It's smallish because normally my 3-bets are to 9 big blinds, but he only min raised, so it's 3.5x instead of the normal 3x. But we're going to give ourselves a rather tight range because we have so many players yet to act. My goal probably right here with 3-betting was to isolate the Sandinistan right here. With a full stack, I have a full stack, and then we get called by roughly a full stack behind. All right, so what is our range first off? Well, we could just start by looking at 3-bet ranges, of course. Let's see, and I really do think it's probably a pretty tight range like this. I'm not going to be calling with pocket 10s with so many players yet to act. If I call, and I'm going to go 5-6 ways to the flop with pocket 10s, I'd much rather 3-bet. I may be calling with the 9s and worse to set mine, but this feels like a pretty darn good 3-betting range for me. So 4.7%, 62 combos. Their pre-flop range. So we know that this guy is a very wide caller at this point. Even though it is a 3-bet, he's been calling a ton of 2-bets, so we could just still assume, I mean, if he's willing to call a ton of 2-bets, it's only 7 big blinds he's risking in position on us. So let's put him on a decently wide range. Darn, where'd the hand go? So many windows, I don't have a clear line on the hand itself here. Let's see. Move it all the way down. There we go. So now I can click on. So currently his 3-bet right there, fold to 3-bet, which means his 4-bet is 0% over. Only 8 instances, 0 out of 8. Okay. So we will put in queens. We'll take out, and we'll put those in as calls. We're just going to take out aces and kings out of his 4-betting range. We could say queens are taken out as well, but for now at least, we'll keep these. Hey, just got a note from Liptonite. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Nice for you to catch me live. Good to see you. I mean, I don't want to say he's calling this wide for sure. He's probably calling every pair to set mine. Ace-7 suited feels right. 7-6 possibly. Ace 9. He's just so passive. Let's give him the aces. Let's not give him the weaker offsuit aces. Who knows? This could be far and away too tight. Or it could be way too loose, too, because it is a 3-bet. But the guy's just so passive in general, we're going to stick with something like this. So 15% range, I like it. 202 combos, 15%. Alrighty. So right now, as it stands, our equities are, we of course have, because we have such a small range with so many, or such a big part of our range being strong pairs, we're just crushing this guy right now. 65% pre-flop at least. So things are looking good for us. We are out of position. He doesn't like to fold to C-bets. He only folds 35% of the time. So if we hit a strong hand, we could probably get some good value out of the guy. But we'll see. Ace, King, 5. Spade, diamond, heart. So on this board, we actually have 70% equity because not every top pair. I mean, we've got plenty of top pair hands with the aces, plenty of second pair hands with the kings. We have sets. We have the under pairs in our range that beat currently a big portion of his whiffed range on this flop. So things are looking good. So we're looking at 70% versus 30% on the ace of spades, king of diamonds, 5 of hearts. You can see that's actually a pretty dry board. Sure, he does have some gut shot broadways available to him. I don't think he has any gut shot wheels. Yeah, nothing gut shot wheel down here. His gut shots are just all up there. Queen 10, Jack 10. Good. So let's see the action here. We are in position. We check. So, well, let's see what... No, before we see what he does... What is my checking range right here? Now, I could be checking with the intent to raise. Maybe I have aces or kings for a set. But most likely right here, this guy is so passive, I should be betting for value, not trying to slow play, not trying to do a check raise. So my guess is I have an underpair. Queens or jacks right here is my guess. So let's first start. Well, we're not going to take away any hands. Let's see here. I am checking, so I don't have a set. I don't have 2 pair. I could be checking... Nope, I wouldn't even be checking top pair there. I'm checking mid to weak pairs and everything else. I think because this guy is so loose passive, I'm basically looking at the situation and thinking to myself, I should just be betting for value. If I'm not betting, it means I don't have a value hand versus this fishy guy. So that's my range. I'm going to narrow it to that, but let's see what happens. And he checks behind as well. Okay, so my checking range shows weakness. His checking range as well shows weakness. He does not have a set. He would want to start building the pot. Does not have 2 pair. Duh. I think I definitely want to remove some of these. Maybe he thinks we're slow playing something. Let's give him... No, let's give him the weaker aces. That could check behind 1 street at least. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give him some of the weaker aces. Middle pairs, totally checking behind weak pairs, checking behind no made hand. Gut shots, 2-card backdoor. Okay, all right. So we've effectively narrowed him to 129 and 76.8% of his pre-flop range. Was it 129 combos? Yep, 129. And for us right here, we've taken away 50% of our pre-flop range. We've removed all of the strongest hands, and we're left with just the weaker underpair stuff. 47% and 21 combos. Alrighty, so... well, as it stands right now, because he still has so many weak hands in his range, we actually are still ahead, 63% versus 37% at this point, before the turn card hits, of course. So just looking at our ranges, we're still ahead. 6 of clubs comes. Now this really doesn't really do anything. It doesn't complete any draws. It doesn't add to any like backdoor flush draws at all. It's a rainbow board now. Ace 6 is the only thing that if he did have an ace with a weak kicker, now he has a 2 pair with ace 6. But really that should be kind of, it's inconsequential right there. So, let's take a look at what happens with equities with the 6 of clubs comes out. We now have 61%. Our equity dropped 2%. 61 and 39. Oh, whoops. So the 6 of clubs comes. And then what do we? We decide to... Oh, what is that? I'm just trying to make a cheap bluff. That is not a value bet. And of course he's going to call with all of his gut shots, all of his under pairs, all of anything. I don't like that bet. Because if I'm going for value, this guy's so passive, I should be betting more, thinking that he'll call with a random ace and a random king if I do have a really good kind of hand. So I'm totally weak here. I don't like checking the flop. No, actually, okay, like I said earlier, on this flop against this player, I should be just going for value, not trying to bluff him off because he doesn't like to fold. So if I do have an underpair, I like the flop check, actually, to be honest. I don't like a delayed c-bet of a tiny 450, 1/3 pot. I mean, that's just terrible. I just don't like it. I'd rather just check and then call right here, or bet half pot or 2/3 pot to try to blow him off a non-ace and a non-king hand. Yeah, I don't care for it at all. So what am I betting a tiny bit here? Definitely not 2 pair. Top pair? No, definitely not that at all. Weak pair? That's it. Wow, look at that. We're down to 18 hands in our range. Okay. And then what is this guy just making a tiny call? Not raising us right here. Not trying to go for a max value and raise us 3 or 4x, or even try to make a shove to make it look super bluffy. He does not have a set. No straight, no set. 2 pair hands, what are they? Ace 6, ace 5, ace king as well. I think if he just now caught 2 pair in some way, he'd be raising right there. So we take that out. Top pair, yeah, we'll keep those in his range. Mid pairs, totally weak pairs, no made hand. Well, no, not no made hand, because I think he'd be folding those at this point. Well, some of them are draws. We'll just keep them in with the draws. He's staying in here for just $1.50 with the draws, for sure. But the straight up no made hands, the 9-8, 8-7, 10-9, nah. All right, so we actually didn't remove much at all from his range. We just removed pocket 5s or pocket 6s that got there on the turn. So 91%, 113 combos. So you could see, based on that tiny bet I made, his call really, it only took out the strongest hands because he's staying in for that tiny bet. So that's one of the things, when you check or when you bet really small, you often aren't able to narrow your opponent's range as much as you'd like to. Bigger bets are better indications of super strong hands or somebody really willing to put money in. If it's just $1.50, the guy's so passive anyway, he's calling no matter what. It's a terrible bluff on my part, I think. 18 hands, 85 combos, and only queens through 10s. That's all we've got. 86 and, oh, I can't even remember, 18 combos. Yeah, we have a tiny range right here. Calls, and then the queen comes. We don't like that if he had a jack 10 the whole way, if he had a random, I don't know, king queen that he stayed in with and didn't raise at all. Yep, so what are we checking here? It's pretty darn obvious. Weak pairs we're checking. And he's checking, oh, didn't put the card in. What was it? Queen of diamonds. On the queen of diamonds, we get, well, we have decent equity. We got 39% equity right here. Oh, he has 39. We have 61. Mean to say. So my river, oh, this is terrible. This is my river checking range. What is it? I guess now it's a set of queens, but no, I wouldn't check it. It's these weak pairs. Guaranteed, if I just now hit a set of queens, I would be going for value. There's no need to slow play a player that's just not going to bet on the river. So we are going to say we removed 20% of our turn range. And just jacks through tens. That's it. Man. 12 combos. And then what is he checking behind? Definitely not. Whoops. No sets. No 2 pairs checking. Top pair? I mean, those are those aces the whole way. Is he going to finally just check on that, thinking we're slow playing the whole way? No way. Okay. Yeah. So, 68%, 71 combos. So we've taken him down from 202 combos pre to 71, so lost about 67%. We've taken ourselves down from a very narrow 62 down to 12, so we've taken away 4/5 or 80% of our range. Let's see if we're right. Yeah, so I have jacks or tens, right? Tens. Ha! Nice. 3. What are you doing? Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. How does he do that? How does he call a 3-bet pre-flop with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other players left to act? He calls with 3-5 offsuit. Holy cow. I mean, yeah, calling on the turn, that's not a bad move. And then checking behind the flop, whatever. That's fine as well. But he has 3-5 suited in his range. Oh, station, don't bluff, value bet only. Called my ISO. Oh, I didn't complete this note. Called my ISO 3-bet with 5-3 suited and 6 players yet to act. Holy cow. Yeah, that's why he has the green tag, because he's mega fish calling with 3-5. Oh, wow. So you could see, I mean, we learned some pretty good lessons right here. This guy is super loose. We decided to, we made the note. So for future reference right here. And what we should be doing is definitely, like I said, don't bluff this fool. He is not willing to fold. And maybe it's just us he plays this way or whatever. But yeah, for sure. Just go for value against the guy. So I don't like the turn bet. I got lucky there that he didn't have just some kind of a better pair than tens, like a weak king, or ended up with a weak queen on the river. I shouldn't have bet that turn. Or if I did, I should have bet bigger. That's another lesson learned right there as well. Yep, if I'm not willing to go for value on the flop, I shouldn't go for value on the turn. Alrighty, y'all. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, just send me an email, sky@smartpokerstudy.com. Oh, and what I'm doing too from now on, up here under options, if we go to view hand details, this button allows me to copy the raw hand history. And what I'm doing every day on YouTube from now on is I will paste this within the information of the video, and so that you can copy it, or so that you can review the hand for yourself and hand range for yourself. I'll be doing that from now on. So you could actually take the hand range history that I put within the comments and do the hand history, and then watch how I do my own hand reading right here. Alrighty, thank you very much. Thank you, Liptonite. I do appreciate that. Or Liptonite. I do appreciate that for that nice analysis comment. Thank you very much. And y'all, take care and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.